Hey guys, welcome back to the Sonic Forces New Game Plus tutorial. In this video we're going to be going over Prison Hall, which is the fourth stage in the game, and the next Avatar stage. So this will be the last time I'm going to just say a general reminder, but make sure you have the 3-perk drill equipped, the one that you see right there on the screen next to my best time. Because from here on out I'm going to just assume that you already have that drill equipped whenever you go into an Avatar stage. But anyways, let's get into it. So this stage begins with several automated drifting sections. Yeah, get that. The game doesn't have drifting, but the game automatically does it for you during this specific part, or these specific parts at the beginning of an Avatar stage. So see if I just walk forward right here, then the game just automatically starts drifting for me. So during these drifting sections, the only thing that you're able to do is move left and right. You can't influence it in any other way. So I hold left, then I go left, you know, right? Or I go right. So you just want to keep that in mind. So what you want to do for these drifting sections is always land on those dash panels that take you to the top paths. Because get this, the top path is faster. So what you want to do when you start the stage is just go into a drill and slide. Because the drill and slide is crazy for these automated drifting sections. It speeds you up a lot. And you can get so fast to the point where the camera doesn't adjust quickly enough for you to be able to see where you're going. That can happen on the occasion, and if it does, you just kind of have to hope that you land on the dash panel. And if you don't, I guess the run's basically over. It's not going to kill you to reset this early in, but it's just something to keep in mind. So anyway, you'll want to start with the drill and the slide and touch the dash panel, and this goes for both drifting sections. That was good. Alright, so right there what you saw I did, oops. So instead of hitting those orange rings, I started drilling. Now, as I was in the air after touching the dash panel, I just immediately started drilling. That's what prevents you from touching those orange rings. So as you drill towards the dash panel, if you want to avoid those orange rings, which I would highly recommend, as you're drilling and sliding, right, you hit the dash panel and then you start drilling immediately. As soon as you get into the air, you start drilling. And then you will avoid those orange rings, and oh, look, didn't mean to do that. And then you'll end up right here, which is good. And then you'll just want to do a quick drill jump over to the next section, and then another drill and slide down the hill. And after you get around this point of the hill, your speed will run out, and you'll want to do another drill and slide. And then you'll notice there's another dash panel, like I mentioned, so you'll just want to angle yourself left and right, just whatever you can do to make sure that you hit it to get onto the top path. Alright, so that place I missed it, so you want to just drill through these guys, and then this will appear and bring you back up to speed. That's not a terrible time loss, but you still don't want it to happen. I can just, right here, as you can see, the door closes, so you don't get another chance at it. So that's a backup you can do. Killing those enemies right there isn't ridiculously slow. There is a top path coming up where if you miss it, then you might as well just reset, which we can go into that right now. So once you get up here, you just, of course, want to do another drill and slide. And then right there, so I got it, so I don't have anything to worry about, because after what you would do here is just you do drill, jump, stomp, and then here you would do a drill and then a slide. Now if you land on the bottom, I'm going to do it on purpose here, then you'll have to deal with these two waves of enemies. You have to kill these guys, then you have to kill these guys, and then finally this appears and pulls you back up. So you want to avoid falling to the bottom path, because if that happens, I would personally just reset. So the next thing that you want to do, like I said, is these guys are going to get annoying, is a drill and a slide. So just that, just a drill and a slide, and this is the 2D section of the level. There's no more 3D from here on out except for the very end. So just that, a drill and a slide. So as soon as you come out of that automated section right there, you want to do a jump and a drill. So it's just like I mentioned in Spaceport, where you drill as fast as you can at the height of your jump. So that was too low. So a good way you'll be able to tell is if you could practice it here actually. So like the goal is to get enough height that you'll go right over this ground that I'm standing on. If you do it too low, well, obviously you won't make it like that. Like right there, that was perfect. I managed to get just enough height that I went over the ground there. So you want to practice that, because it's harder than it looks. So basically, go down here. Alright, so I didn't do it high enough, that's fine. Whoa! Alright. So then you want to drill. That's good. Basically, you just keep doing your drill to the point where you get a little over this ground right here. Because like I said, if you do it too low, that'll happen. But if you do it high enough, then that happens, and that's great. You want to make sure you have enough height, basically. So for this next section, this isn't hugely about drilling, it's more about the stomp. Remember that this drill has that stomp mechanic where once you stomp, you immediately gain maximum speed. You want to take advantage of that here. So you basically just stomp as soon as you're in the air. So you want to reduce the amount of time you're in the air as much as possible. So stomp here. You can drill into that. You can drill into that spring, or you can, you know, do the stomp. And then for here, I would, what I normally do here is I do a drill. Actually, let me just jump here. I do a drill, and then I do a drill jump to get over to this pulley. However, that's a very risky move because you might end up falling to your death instead if you don't time your jump well enough. So for a beginner, I would just recommend either jumping over these badniks with the stomp mechanic, like that, or you could just carefully drill your way through. I mean, honestly, I would just not recommend doing the drill method. I can show it off later, or I'll show it off in a separate clip, but I would not recommend doing that right now. Anyway, as soon as you get the pulley, you want to hold right, and then you want to do a drill as soon as you jump into the air. It's just like I mentioned earlier, you know, drill at the top of your jump height. Okay, I didn't do it high enough there. Actually, can I? Yeah, there we go. There we go. So let's just do that one more time. Oh. Couldn't stop. There we go. So you can do that, and there's one more method. Let's see if I don't die here. Okay, that works. Alright, so the other method, you can stomp, jump, and then drill to get right at the top. And then here is just you drill to this platform, and when you get to this middle section of springs, you want to homing attack the first one, and then at the top of your height, you want to drill and then stomp onto the next section. So, homing attack. Oh, that's face. Wait, I was facing the wrong way. There we go. Alright. Homing attack, drill, and then stomp. And then go forward, and then you'll get to the next automated section right here. So basically, you don't have to hold any direction here, except forward, I guess, if you want to. But this part, there's not much like tech here. It's more about you just have to memorize the correct path to take. And you need to stay on the top path with the single exception, which I'll get into in a sec. So it's just right, left, left, right, right, left. And then when you get to this section right here, alright, so you see the red ring that's right in front of me? It's faded out because I've already collected it. But when you get to this section, you want to strafe to the left, and then stomp, and then quickly strafe back to the middle path. Just like that. Now the reason we do that is because if you were to stay on the top path, you would have to take the orange ring, which, well, it's slower. That's really all there is to it. Doing the strafe left, stomp, strafe right is simply faster if you can manage to get to the speed booster in time. So then once you're back on the middle path, you just do left, right, and then the last thing you need to keep in mind is, again, the rainbow rings are slower, so you want to stomp as soon as you get off of this middle platform, and that's it. And that's Prison Hall for you. This level is one of my personal favorite levels to IL. It's just, I feel like it really gives you a great sense of what the Avatar is capable of. Especially the drifting sections at the beginning of the stage. Those are very fun to go through. But either way, like before, I'm going to go through a few problem sections that I usually mess up from time to time. And then after that, I'm going to go through the stage while I explain what I do. So let's look into that. Alright, so remember, just for landing on the dash panels that are in the middle of these drifting sections, you just want to sort of like wiggle. What I do is I wiggle, you can even hear it right here because my mic is so sensitive. I just kind of wiggle my analog stick left and right, and that usually gets me to it, honestly. If I try right here. There we go. Okay, that's on me, I didn't start drilling fast enough. But often I have a lot of trouble landing on, or sliding onto the dash panels in the middle. But all you have to do is just wiggle your analog stick left and right, and that gets me to it like 9/10 of the time. So just to go over this drill jump height thing again, All you have to do, as soon as you're coming out of this section, max speed, so jump and then drill, jump and then drill. And like I said, you have to make sure you're at the top or relatively close to the top of your jump height. If you do it too low, like that, or if you're not fast enough with your mashing, then basically you just won't be high enough to make it. And then you'll end up doing that. You'll just bump into the platform like that instead of actually going anywhere. That's really something that's up to you that you need to practice. You need to practice mashing the heck out of the right trigger, because that's what will make this in the end. You can be perfect with the jump that you make, but if you don't mash the right trigger fast enough for the drill, you're not going to make it. Right there, like that was really good. So basically you just need to practice your right trigger mashing. And just for this little section, remember the bad nicks I said I don't recommend a newbie doing, because there's a high risk of death. It's basically right here, so drill and then stomp, and you'll see I stomped right onto the pulley. Now, like I said, the reason I don't recommend doing that is I suggest like anything else, you can practice it, but the main reason I suggest keep holding it off until later is because there's a high chance that you will drill and then you'll stomp too late and then end up right here in this pit. And that has happened to me more times than I could possibly count, and it got very frustrating. I would personally not recommend doing that right now, but there's nothing stopping you from practicing it and doing it in runs anyway. Whatever works for you. So I'm just going to be doing a run through of the stage, explaining everything as I go, as usual, so let's take a look. So I'm going to start with a drill and a slide, and I'm going to drill as soon as I get into the air to avoid the orange rings. Then I'm going to do a drill and jump to the next section, another drill slide to the next dash panel, a drill jump over the springs, a drill slide into the next dash panel, drill jump, drill slide. That was suboptimal because I didn't drill fast enough. I'm going to drill jump over those next bottomless pits. Remember, you have to do it at the top of your jump height. I'm going to stomp, stomp here, stomp, jump, drill here. I'm going to do the drill strat there. I perfectly landed on it. Do another jump and then drill, homing attack, drill into the next section, homing attack the spring, and then stomp onto the dash panel. And right here is really self-explanatory. You just have to make sure you have the right path. So I'm just going through it right here. Stomp here. Stomp. And that's Prison Hall. So like before, 57, that's an okay time. I'm usually more okay with a 55 or 56, but 57's alright. Really anything sub 1 in this level is really good, especially considering if you go through this level casually, it takes around a minute and a half. So I would be fine with that. But what I would suggest practicing the most is the drill jumps. Remember, I should come up with a better name for them. The top of your height drill jumps. Something, but you know what I mean. I would suggest practicing those. Remember, it's mainly just mashing the right trigger that you want to practice. You need to make sure that you're doing it fast enough. And I would also make sure to practice the automated drifting sections. You want to make sure you land on the dash panels in the middle that take you to the top sections, because if you miss them, I would personally just reset, because it's not worth the hassle of destroying the badniks to get yourself back up to the top path. Either way, that's what I would recommend doing. That was a decent prison haul, all things considered. But as always, if you have any questions or comments, any suggestions, you think I didn't explain something good enough, just please let me know in the comments. And that's it for this level, and I'll see you on the next video about versus Zavok.